Joyful adventure audits, come join the ride. Joyful adventure.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Joyful Adventure Audits. Today we're continuing our popular series on Birmingham's Lost Pubs, and we're standing at what used to be the Gun Barrels pub in Selly Oak, a place that holds countless memories for generations of students and locals alike. Looking around today in 2025, you'd never know this spot was once home to one of Birmingham's most historic pubs. The Gun Barrels has a fascinating history dating back to the 18th century, when it was a favorite stop for stagecoach drivers heading into Birmingham. The name itself has an interesting origin. It was named after the nearby Westley Richards gun factory in Bournebrook, which was a major local employer for many years. The pub, you might remember, was actually built in the 1970s, replacing an older historic building on the same site. Many of you will recall its distinctive yellow exterior, but what made this place special wasn't just the building, it was the life inside it. The Gun Barrels had a beautiful bowling green at the back, something that was once common for pubs but has largely disappeared from our pub culture. Back in May 2013, the final landlord posted a touching farewell, thanking staff and customers for their years of support. The pub was demolished to make way for the University of Birmingham's new £11 million swimming pool and sports facility, a sign of how our city keeps changing and evolving. For decades, the Gunnies, as it was affectionately known, was one of the UK's flagship student pubs. It was more than just a place to grab a pint, it was where friendships were forged, where celebrations were held, and where countless memories were made. We'd love to hear your memories of the Gun Barrels. Did you celebrate your graduation there? Meet your future partner? Have a memorable night out with friends? Please email us your stories and any photographs you might have. You'll find our email address in the video description below. This is why we do this series, to preserve these important pieces of Birmingham's social history. Every lost pub has its own story, and together they tell the larger story of how our city has changed over the years. The Gun Barrels might be gone, but through your memories and stories, we can keep its spirit alive. If you're enjoying our Lost Pubs of Birmingham series, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to catch our next episode. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you at our next Lost Pub.
Empty streets, empty nights, gone are the neon lights, gone the laughter, gone the crowd. What's left now feels so loud. Locked the doors, sold the dreams, echoes only, no more schemes. Dusty stoves and empty taps, lost the magic in our maps. Where did all the good times go? When did all the pubs close slow? Empty bottles, empty space, left with memories we can't erase. Jukebox quiet, floors won't creak, Sunday quiz nights feel antique. Once a hub, now just a shell, stories untold, no one to tell. Signs of age, time's gone by, say goodbye, don't ask why. Community now feeling torn, heartfelt places left to mourn. Where did all the good times go? When did all the pubs close slow? Empty bottles, empty space, left with memories we can't erase. Jukebox quiet, floors won't creak, Sunday quiz nights feel antique. Once a hub, now just a shell, stories untold, no one to tell. Signs of age, time's gone by, say goodbye, don't ask why. Community now feeling torn, heartfelt places left to mourn. Where did all the good times go? When did all the pubs close slow?
Thanks for joining me on this journey through Birmingham's Lost Pubs, and if you've made it this far, you're in for a treat. As a special bonus for our dedicated viewers, I've got some fascinating photos to share of Selly Oak's historic pubs that are no longer with us. Let's start with the Dog and Partridge, if you can believe it. This started as a simple farmhouse serving homebrewed beer. Mitchells and Butlers bought it in 1938, but despite its charming origins, it developed quite a colourful reputation before finally closing its doors in 1997. The shops you see in this photo are long gone too, replaced by a car showroom. Here's a gem, the Brook, photographed right after it opened in 1961. It actually replaced the old Bournebrook Tavern, which locals called the Steps because of the steep climb to its entrance. The Brook was especially popular with students and had a lovely beer garden. Sadly, it was demolished in 2004 to make way for housing. The Prince of Wales stood near the Plough and Harrow, an interesting spot that only sold beer and wine initially. No spirits allowed. Mitchells and Butlers ran it until 1983 when road widening claimed another piece of history. Now this one's special. The Oak was one of the area's oldest inns, named after the famous oak tree across the road that stood until 1906. When it closed in 1983, they built a new pub called the Great Oak, but that's got its own fascinating story. It might be one of Birmingham's shortest-lived pubs, open for less than 10 years before Sainsbury's bought the land for a cool £1 million to expand their car park. Check out this beautiful old postcard from 1905, that's the Plough and Harrow on the corner of Chapel Lane. Originally built as the new inn for Holt's Brewery in 1900, it got its new name in 1904. Ansell's took over in 1934 and ran it until 1983 when the Battery Retail Park development came along. The White Horse Inn on Chapel Lane has an interesting twist. 4 years it was beer only until finally getting its full license in 1957. It stood proudly on its own for many years before joining several of its neighbours in making way for the Battery Retail Park in 1983. And finally, feast your eyes on this gorgeous 1905 colour postcard of the Gun Barrels Hotel and its bowling green. This place was a favourite stop for stagecoach drivers travelling in and out of Birmingham. The black and white shot from the late 60s shows the original building before it was replaced in 1978.
Stagecoaches rained at the gun barrels tonight. Echoes of laughter under dim tavern light. Old-timers spin tales with a pint in their hand. In Birmingham's glory, where the old pubs stand. Students would gather at the brook to unwind. Memories floating in the fog of their minds. Ancient walls whispered of secrets and lore. In places now shuttered, where spirits once soared. Closed doors holding a century of dreams, lost in the echoes of moonlight beams. Birmingham's vanished pubs, oh how they sing of history's tune. In the night they still ring. A century's stories locked inside a key. Dust settles quietly where wild hearts used to be. Barrels of laughter and shadows dance free in the heart of a city, under lock and decree. Every closed door holds a legend untold. Tavern nights warm when the world was cold. Gather around the fire with tales of old broken jukeboxes, their magic to bold. Closed doors holding a century of dreams, lost in the echoes of moonlight beams. Birmingham's vanished pubs, oh how they sing of history's tune. In the night they still ring. Closed doors holding a century of dreams, lost in the echoes of moonlight beams. Birmingham's vanished pubs, oh how they sing of history's tune. In the night